The search results from Googling different types of jockey boxes can be confusing and misleading if you don't know what you're looking at or for. So in this video, we've simplified the decision-making process for you. Whatever your situation, will help you cut through the noise and point you in the right direction so you can make an informed decision with confidence. Ready to check out your options? Who you are and what you need a jockey box for will help frame how to pick the one that's right for you. Are you a budding hobbyist or enthusiast, a caterer or mobile bar service, or a brand that does dozens of festivals a year, or perhaps a group of friends who reunite to drink about the good old days? Then ask yourself the following 3 questions that will quickly narrow down your search. We'll show you options for each. 1. When thinking about what your typical serving scenario will look like, would you prefer a polished aesthetic with the ability to customize it with personal branding, or do you need something more heavy duty that can withstand the rigors of challenging environments? 2. How many taps do you want? Would you like to be able to serve 1, 2, or up to 4 different kegs at the same time? And 3. Who's going to be pouring or operating your jockey box? A bartender or guests serving themselves? Before Coldbreak, homemade jockey boxes were prominent in the homebrewing industry. One drawback, however, was that the people who were really great at making their own beer also got accustomed to trying to build their own just to get by. Or they were at the mercy of retailers racing to the bottom on price. So we decided to build a better mousetrap. You'll inevitably find jockey boxes that look like this. It's not so much the cheaply constructed red or blue coolers that you need to worry about, although don't expect too much of them in terms of durability or longevity. It's more so the parts used and how they function that will ultimately let you down if you're serious about what you're doing. If you've watched our other videos, you know we've stressed the importance of using only food-grade stainless steel for every part your beverage comes into contact with. If you are considering a jockey box that looks like this, or even some that look oddly similar to ours, pay close attention to whether they're using chrome-plated brass in place of stainless steel. If so, just know that that chrome is eventually going to wear off, expose the brass, and impart unwanted metallic off flavors in whatever you're serving. As a quick side note, you'll notice that most jockey boxes on the market today do use stainless steel coils for chilling and transferring your beverage. However, there is one archaic alternative that we'd recommend avoiding. Those built using cold plates. Without trying to bore you, they have a couple disadvantages. Their volume capacity is distinctly smaller, meaning less cold beer when your guests want it. They're heavier, making mobility more strenuous, and they require additional beverage tubing that you already won't want to worry about. Our portfolio includes 2 high-end, well-insulated styles, attractive, steel-belted, and heavy-duty roto-molded models. These steel-belted models put us on the map and changed the jockey box game, raising the bar for what portable draft systems should be and could look like. Designed and built specifically to exceed the demands of the active beverage industry, these 54-quart coolers are currently in use by more than 1,000 of our customers worldwide. They're available configured with 2 or 4 taps, 50-foot or 100-foot stainless steel coils, and input locations on the front or the back. A fun bonus option to note, their exterior lends itself well to creative branding. You can personalize your jockey box by custom wrapping it with your choice of logos and graphics in either permanent vinyl or removable magnet. Built exactly like our flagship steel belted editions with all stainless steel touching everything the liquid does, our roto-molded models raise the ante on durability. They're built for those times when the environment you're pouring in is a little unforgiving. These coolers can withstand the knockaround from the toughest events. They're available in 2 sizes, also with 50-foot or 100-foot stainless steel coils, with 1, 2, and even 4 taps, and with input locations on the front and the back. This smaller 20-quart model is where professional quality meets portability. This is the perfect introduction to jockey boxes for the weekend warrior. Whether it's tailgating cross-country or Sunday fun day in your own backyard, this is the party life hack you need. And sometimes you just need a bigger boat. This is that boat. It's perfect for those times when you're pouring against the wind and the elements and might need a buddy to come help back you up. Regardless of which of these coolers you land on, know that their function as a jockey box performs exactly the same. So deciding between 1, 2, or 4 taps is a pretty straightforward conversation. It really just boils down to personal preference based on how many different kegs you'd like to pour at once. Because they're obviously portable and can fit almost anywhere, it's not uncommon for someone to invest in more than one jockey box if they like the idea of having multiple portable draft stations, or need to be flexible in crowd flow, because we know that people gravitate to where the beer is. Speaking of crowd flow, you'll see jockey boxes out there with a variety of coil lengths. Their difference is simply in the volume of liquid they're able to hold. But there are some old dogs out there who still refuse to learn new tricks, who will tell you that they need to be something like 120 feet. Frankly, that's overkill 90% of the time. Unless you're in an exceptionally high demand situation where you have to fill hundreds of pitchers nonstop for thousands of people, think major sporting event or weekend-long music festival, rest assured you can rely on 50-foot stainless steel coils, which will always provide more than a pint of ice-cold beer in the chamber at the ready for every pour. Lastly, let's talk about input locations. While we've asked you to consider the environment you're pouring in, your preference for cooler style, and how many kegs you'd like to be able to tap simultaneously, your options for input locations are going to be somewhat determined by how you answered those questions. Let's start with front inputs. For your guests, this creates a nice clean look on the backside of the cooler, the side they're going to approach. From a marketing standpoint, this becomes particularly valuable if you choose to custom wrap your jockey box, because your design isn't going to be obstructed by the inputs that would otherwise be located on the back. For the bartender, having the inputs on the front, the same side as the faucets, the same side they're pouring from, alleviates the singular major challenge that they would also have to deal with if the inputs were located on the back. Having all service components on their side with kegs directly below them, literally within arm's reach, allows a bartender to manage all aspects of service without even missing a beat, including being able to change kegs quickly without ever having to move. This feature is worth its weight in gold. Now, let's talk briefly about rear inputs. Generally, this is where you're going to find them on most traditional jockey boxes. They're most beneficial when presentation matters, or if guests are pouring their own drinks. If you're really creative, they lend themselves well to being mounted or built into mobile bars or beer trailers. In the world of jockey boxes, you truly have plenty of options, and certainly there's one compatible for everyone. With anything though, we know that you get what you pay for. The opposite is also true. You won't get what you don't pay for. So, when you're ready, it's important to us that you're informed so you can invest with confidence, because you deserve a perfect pour and peace of mind every single time. Subscribe to our channel for instructional videos, best practices, and the occasional outtake, like whatever just happened back there. Follow us on social across the board at Coldbreak USA. Have questions? Email us support@coldbreakusa.com or comment below. Until next time, Cheers.